How do they do the jazz
There we
hands?
go. Hi.
How does the jazz hands go?
Like,
I don't know. I can't do it.
I don't know. Or the weird wave where they only move their
or
wrist.
like,
Yeah.
No,
the
that's
weird
a
wave.
that you do it with your left hand. You have to go like this, and you kind of cup it. You know, that's the beauty pageant.
that's
Wait.
because it's hot.
You can tell I'm not cultured at all. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was not in any beauty pageant thingies.
No, I did get to do a modeling gig once with my sister. That was fun. We were young and skinny and cute, so they just asked us if we would model their clothes for a store in the mall. And we're like, sure.
You know where Madras, Oregon is?
Where?
Madras.
Yeah, it's hot there.
Yeah, I used to live there when I was a kid. My dad, one of those times I had moved around, and I was in the Miss Teenage America pageant.
Ooh, that's cool.
Wow.
Got to go to regionals up in Yakima, Washington.
Ah.
Got in trouble.
My half sister used to live in Yakima.
Yeah.
Hi, Penny Ortiz. Welcome in.
Hi, everyone.
Butler Family Farm.
Hello, everybody.
Robin, Garden State Zone. And Jen, Adrian. Hello.
Hello.
Bob's in here.
Thank
you. Lori.
Community tab.
Let me see.
That's cool.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in. So,
yeah, we moved around a lot, so I don't know. I just didn't really think about that kind of sort of stuff too much. I did do a modeling thing once when how old was I?
I was actually already away from home when I did that.
I think I was 16.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was 16, and it was like a one-time little thing.
Yeah, mine was a one-time thing, but we got an outfit out of it. They gave us one outfit, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
One outfit to take home. That was our pay, was a new outfit. So that was cool. That was fun. They approached my sister first, and then I kind of peeked around the corner like, yeah, your sister too, because, I was like tiny little rail back then. So. I need help again? What?
He needs help again. I don't know what it's for, but he needs help again.
I'm surprised I can help you. You
I know Jerry's always helping us.
Yeah, he's the smart one. He did call me for help on something one time, and I was like, "Wow, this is weird."
Hi, Bob.
So, Linda, what have you been working on this week?
Oh, I've been trying to get everything done before I go to my mother's funeral. So all the things that got destroyed in the storms, like the fences and the and the canopies over the chicken coops, the shade cloths and stuff, because they just oh my gosh, the storm just tore them up. So I've been working on that and making sure all the animals are in order and stuff like that before I go, so I don't have to worry about that while I'm gone.
It's a good idea. Hi, Bob and Jennifer. Welcome.
And of course the garden, making sure the garden's all taken care of.
I know it seems like there's so much work, whenever you go out of town for whatever reason. There's so much work, I think, that we do to make things easier for everybody else. And so that hopefully when we get back, things went so much.
It's not a disaster.
Yeah.
We don't want a disaster.
We ask to feed their animals. And so what we do is we leave our back gate open and we leave our back door open, because there's a door between the back door and the utility room. Like this leads in the utility room, and that's where all our chicken feed is. And we usually put our cat food in there too, so they can get access to the cat food and the chicken feed, and they can feed the animals without having to come into the whole entire house.
Right. Yeah. I
need to make sure I get that room looking okay before it's time, because I don't want them to be, Yeah.
Yeah.
Messy. It's not like a
Yeah.
room people see, so I don't think about it.
Yeah, and then there's Bianca. I have to make sure Bianca's taken care of too.
Right.
Everything's ready for her too. So it's a big chore, but I'm excited. I'm more excited about going on the meetup. This trip is causing me stress, but the meetup I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I have my rental car and everything ready, and yeah, I'm
Who's
excited
coming
over
with
that.
you? Who's coming with you to the meetup?
Richard,
Just Richard?
Oh, that's
Your whole
nice.
family this
Yeah.
time?
Yay! You get freedom.
I know
What?
it's Richard and I. We have not taken a trip together for I don't know how long. Just him and I.
That's going to be fun. It's like a date.
Well, we did go out to Washington last year for a few days without Bianca, and and had someone here, but yeah, we had Reese here then. So it's been a year, but it's like once every 5 or 6 years usually.
Yeah. Do you know how close the bathroom is to the yurts?
It's right across the street from the yurt.
Yeah.
From the one I'm staying in is right across the street. Yeah. So it makes it really easy.
That's kind of how it was like at the Pinecone Fest. It was right across the street. But we have a bathroom in our camper. So depending on whatever the situation is, we try to use that one during the day, the public bathroom, and then we use ours at night.
Just don't turn the shower on when you get up in the morning when you're in there.
I know. I was on the phone with my aunt for over half an hour today, and I had not talked to her in a long time. So I had to tell her the story about my sister. I managed to get through the story without crying, believe it or not. But I told her, I said, when I go, because we have a reunion in July, so we got a busy summer this summer. Something going on each month. So I was talking to her, and I was like, well, I haven't got my Facebook back up since my phone got broken. I said, so I just wanted to let you know we're going to be there. We already have our RV spot reserved, and we're going to be there. Just I wanted her to know. And then that's when she told me that my uncle had Alzheimer's, because I really haven't talked to that side of the family.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of family members that have problems with some people in my family, and I'm too old to be holding other people's grudges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when the people in my family explain what the problem is, it just like makes my brain hurt, and it's not something I care about. It's not a big major thing. It's something tiny and small and petty. And guys, we're not getting any younger. We need to love our family while they're here, because you never know when you're going to lose them.
You really don't. And
love them now, right now.
Everything can change, just like, just in a split second, things change.
Yeah, that is true. So, Gail, what have you been working on this week?
I started my little mason jar of chores, and but I kind of got hung up on one because I had some ministry stuff. So I think on Monday I drew dining room, and so I had to work on the ministry stuff in that corner in there, because like I don't want to let anybody in the door because it was right there. And so I went through all the ministry stuff in the dining room. I've worked on clearing the table off. I still have to do some dusting. I made a little corner on my desk for the prizes for the meetup that I got together, because I've been getting together little prizes and stuff to bring to keep it all together. So I know that everything on the end of that desk right there is stuff we have to take, so we don't accidentally end up leaving something. So I'm kind of already starting to like pre-gather things together for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward. That's like my favorite thing for this summer will be
the meetup.
Yeah, the meetup's in June. Our family reunion is in July, and I have a wedding in August. So I have boom, 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 and every month. But I'm not staying in the camper for the wedding because it'd be too hard to get dressed up, and it'll be just too hard to. I don't know, it's hard to pull off looking okay for a wedding in a camper. don't know how else to say that, but I don't know if I can pull it off. So we'll probably be staying in a hotel for that one.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of good events. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Jan and Linda and Adrian's supposed to be there and Kathleen is supposed to be there. Those are the
Yeah,
people.
Kathleen said she's not going to be able to make it.
She did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Their family farm. Jerry and Susan are coming, and Tony and Angie from Our Cabin in the Woods, and Kathy and Brian from Resourceful Living Homestead signed up to come. Il Canarum, Beth and Jason, last I heard, were coming. Also, Beth and Neil from BNS Odyssey. So
Awesome.
and I heard something about maybe White Rock Homestead coming. So there's
yeah.
channels signed up to come, and so it should be fun and exciting.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
So should we start with one? Did you know?
Yep.
You want to go first, Gail?
Yep.
Let's put her on the spot.
Yeah, well, I probably have more, so I might as well start fast. Dolphins use unique whistles as names for each other. So instead of saying "Hey, babe" or "Hey, honey" or whatever the person's name is, they have little sounds they do for each other.
Yeah, I was gonna imitate
like
it.
A name.
That would have been scary.
Isn't that neat? I thought that was kind of cool. And I'm a dolphin freak. Like the drop link on mine is dolphin because I like dolphins. I just it's like my animal. I just think they're cool. They're mysterious the way they. And I finally got to see. You would think I would have seen dolphins when I lived in Rhode Island, but I didn't. I was actually in like Galveston area, and we were fishing, and I was fishing with husband and uncle, and I put down my fishing pole and just watched them as far as I could until they were out of my sight because I wasn't going to miss a moment of seeing the dolphins in real life jumping. It was so cool. I watched it until I couldn't see them anymore. That was so neat.
I really wanted to go to the animal marina in Florida in Clearwater. And I've been to Florida like 4 times now, and I never have been able to get to Clearwater to see. I wanted to go because they had, I don't know if she's still alive, but they had a dolphin that lost a tail from like some fishing netting. And so
the movie?
Yeah. And so she was there and they made a prosthetic tail fin because if they don't keep doing that, like things can happen to their inside of their bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Jennifer.
Maybe at the end, and I'll try to imitate a dolphin.
I don't believe you, Jennifer. I don't believe you.
Yeah, if you guys are not over on Heather's channel, can you turn another device on and make sure you go over to Heather's channel? She needs hours, and we want to make sure she gets hours. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Because they like to go.
I know how that is. I know.
I love that movie, Dolphin Tale, and what was the other big one? That was the whale one, the Free Willy. That was good. I like all the ocean animals.
Well, there's different types of animals though that you have to keep separated, like the males separated from when they have the babies and other animal, like for instance, chickens. If you put chicks in with all the chickens, that ain't gonna end well.
Yeah.
So there's that. So with all the chickens.
Flipper.
Yeah, I heard myself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we went to a little store the other day, me and my grandkids, and I let them pick something out. And the granddaughter gets some Reese's Pieces. And so I go, Elliot, E.T. phone home. And they're like, you're nuts? Well, and I'm like, have you not seen E.T.? And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I
You went home and watched it?
I messaged my daughter and I said, okay, we have a problem. And then I, go down
Get into that.
and I'm like, you guys need to watch E.T.
Yeah.
like
It was
what?
fun. I remember we went to see it, the whole family plus my grandparents. So there was like probably 8 or 10 of us in the movie theater watching that. So our whole family watched that. That was that was the only time that ever happened. That
Wow.
we were together like that.
So here's some interesting stuff. So we've all seen the movie Goonies, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
So they filmed that in Oregon. I'm reading drop comment. Anyways, they've been working on the original house, the outside and the inside, and redoing it to look original to the movie. All the rooms, like all the knobs in the kitchen, all the things inside and out. And so, this is going to scare you. It's supposed to be the 40-year reunion this summer.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's been a while.
Wow.
High Drops Family Farm. Drops.
That is.
Jan, are you kidding me? That put it on your list. Put it on
You gotta see it if you haven't seen it.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen Goonies or not.
Oh, you gotta see it. You just gotta see it. It's so cute.
Not sure.
It's a great movie. And then you kind of like end up being a Goonie Clan member,
Yeah. I'm gonna double check and see if I've seen it because I love watching
little adventure
old movies like that. Linda, do you got a did you know fact?
Yeah. Did you know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 breeds of dogs that have double dew claws? Do you know why they have those double dew claws?
Maybe because back in ancient times their feet were bigger and
they were mountainous dogs. All of them are mountainous dogs, and one of them, of course, is the Great Pyrenees and the Spanish Mastiff, the Anatolian Shepherd, the Saint Bernard, the Australian Mountain Dog, the Catalan Sheepdog, the Briard, the Boceron, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, and the East Siberian Laika. But they would use the claws because not only to grab hold of, but they'd use the claws to also manipulate the uneven surfaces because a lot of them were mountain dogs and they were climbing steep surfaces and stuff. And so the claws used to be used all the time.
Yeah.
Now I don't think they do anything. I think they just sit there and they use them to identify if they are a purebred. And so, yeah, all my dogs have double dew claws, and they're my Great Pyrenees.
I've never that in my life. I didn't know
and
that.
It looks so neat when they walk because it makes them look more like a cat walk. A big cat when they walk. You see the back of them walking. So yeah, it's really awesome. Yeah.
Like the Bud Files.
And it looks strange, and a lot of vets want to cut them off and stuff, but most people they keep it for the breed. If they're purebred. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I'll have to Google that later so I can see. And you guys probably already know this, and I know Heather does, but honey never spoils. It has been found in ancient tombs. Honey never spoils.
Never spoils. It's awesome.
Sugar will get hard like a rock, but you can get out your kind of like a knife or an ice scraper, and you could like chunk it up, and it'll still melt and sweeten your stuff. So sugar and salt are things you could stock up on, and
But salt loses its flavor.
yeah.
And how do we know that? Because the Bible says it. And if you eat salt that's old, it's not a salty tasting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you keep it in mason jars, I think it'll probably hold its flavor longer, because I know I've had some salt for a while, let's just say.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know. I've never really ate salt by itself, so.
Yeah, no, me either. It's always in something. Yeah. I've heard of people doing that, like pinching. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my turn? You ready?
Your turn.
Okay. Who or not who? What is the tallest person in the 20th century? So you don't have to say the name of the person or what exact years, but the height.
Like 5 foot tall.
What is the height of the tallest person in the 20th century?
Yeah.
Like 5 foot tall. They weren't as tall back then, right?
Well, like the tallest.
Giantism. I think I read somewhere it was 8'4" or something. I don't remember.
I thought you were talking about old times.
No.
It used to be shorter. If you go through a little like mansion tour of old times, the beds are shorter, like a kid's bed.
Yeah, but there were some individuals that were. That's what I thought she was meaning.
Yeah,
I average.
Write that down. So in the 20th century, the tallest person was 8'11". And between 1918 to 1940, it was Robert Wallow. And some other interesting fact: Queen Victoria actually befriended from the United Kingdom a lady who was nearly 9 foot tall, and she moved to New York because it was hard for her to get a job. So she moved to New York and worked for the Ringling Brothers and did like little shows and things like that. And she eventually met a man who was nearly 9 foot tall. Or was 8 foot tall.
Yeah, Jan was close.
And they got married, and they had a child that didn't make it during the birth. And then that was a little baby boy, and he was 18 pounds. And then 5 years later, they had another baby that was 23 pounds, I believe. Yeah. Anyways, but when they got married, Queen Victoria was such good friends with this lady. She paid for their wedding and the fabric for the dress to be made.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, she did
that movie BFE, the BFE, the big giant. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's cute. I forgot what BFE stands for. It's something like big. Anyway, it's a cute movie. It's like a family type movie that you would watch with your grandkids or your kids or something. So that's a good movie. I liked it.
Wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
23 pounds, but the little.
And you just wonder what somebody goes through to get even clothes, at that height.
Yeah.
I mean, a pair of shoes or a pair of socks, or I mean, it must be so difficult, and all of the burdens that they have to endure just to survive.
Well, always having to be like, and so, they also, here's an interesting fact: when they had their house, they had everything at the level for them because they were nearly 8 foot tall. But their living room parlor, they made it average normal height so that when they had guests over, they would feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I wonder how tall their kid was.
They didn't survive.
None of them survived ever. No. So that's terrible. Well, that's enough to bear, and they couldn't even have that's just sad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sad
It is sad.
story, Heather.
Hmm?
What? What did you say?
I
Sad.
thought she said, yeah.
Yeah. So random. Did you know?
Did you know? Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Gail.
Okay.
Is it Gail's turn? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's Gail.
The heart of a blue whale is so large that a human could crawl into its aorta.
Oh, wow.
That's big.
Man.
That's huge.
That's okay. I'll pass.
What is that?
I bet it smells a little fishy in there.
I bet. Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I have some weird information. So, because when I was a kid, I grew up in Alaska. And every time we would move to like Oregon or Washington, all the kids would be like, "Did you live in a whale?" And I'm like, "No." And then they would think I lived in an igloo. Like I lived in like the tundra, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I traveled through the tundra, but no, I lived in a neighborhood like we had cars too.
When I lived in Germany, we lived in a little village called Kleinrinderfeld, and a lot of the local Germans, they thought that America was like the Wild West, and there were rattlesnakes everywhere. Aren't you afraid of being bit by
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought that was humorous.
Because like some of the like biggest stories of the time was the Wild West.
Yeah.
Is the Pacific Northwest, where I'm
Yeah.
at. And I somewhat agree with it. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you freeze, Gail? No.
Okay. I kind of feel like when people moved from the East Coast and headed over here, some of the family values and traditions kind of got lost when they moved over to the West Coast.
Yeah, I think so too.
Think of it a lot. Wasn't Texas and or not Texas, California, Mexico?
Yeah.
Back then, and so
I think you're right. There were a lot of just wild, whatever goes kind of stuff that ended up happening when the West was being developed, and a lot of those values got lost. Yeah,
there was like a lot of fur trading and just like trying to get things going quickly to maybe match up to the East Coast.
Yeah, and it never did. It never matched up to the East Coast. I mean, it's like it's totally different.
Kind of like traveled when they came over from wherever they came over, kind of stopped maybe a little travel and planted.
Exactly.
But then some of them are like, nah, we're going to go as far as we can go,
Yeah. Yeah. I never realized, I watched this series on Netflix or something about sodbusters. And so I never understood why they had the name sodbuster other than they were busting up the sod to plant crops, so I always thought of it just as a crop thing, but it wasn't just that. It's because they actually made houses. They dug out sides of hills and they put sod on all on their roofs and even lined the front for insulation. And that's how a lot of them lived. And I was like, oh, wow. And they showed a bunch of those old houses like that and how they built them. It was fascinating.
Yeah, like the thatched roofs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was actually sod with mud. I mean, it was they cut out.
Some of that clay gets real hard, so that would make sense. Like clay and sod or whatever you had here.
Yeah.
Well,
It was fascinating. Yeah. Okay. So I have one. Who was the smallest baby ever born who survived, and how much did she weigh? If you don't know the name, that's okay.
Do
But how
what?
much do you think she weighed? The smallest baby ever born that
Oh.
survived.
I know that there's some 1 pound somethings, but I want to guess it's less than that.
Half a pound, maybe.
Half a pound. There was a, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, Kwek Yu Jean, born in 2020 in Singapore, weighing 230 grams, which is 8.1 ounces. And Evelyn Eilers, born in Iowa City in 2023, 8.46 ounces.
Wow.
And Savy, who was born in 2018 in San Diego, California, weighing 8.6 ounces. And yeah, these are extremely rare, but it happens and they can survive. And it just goes to show you. I mean,
They
yeah.
had will.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. I can't even imagine an 8-ounce baby. I mean, you.
No, that's
I
small.
hold it like this in your
Like,
hand.
Just a
Oh,
little,
it'd be just tiny like this. You know, I mean, it'd just be tiny.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Baby in a hand. That would
Yeah.
be
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yes, thank God for technology and wisdom.
Imagine
Yes, sirree.
their little tiny hands at that size
Oh, look.
probably couldn't
yeah.
scratch your,
Hands
like,
would be
Yeah.
itty bitty.
Itty bitty.
Is
It'd be like holding a baby kitten, you know, or yeah, or a little baby Chihuahua puppy or something. You know, I mean, it'd just be crazy.
just
is Anne. I'm sorry, Anne, not Anne. Ariella, Viking Venture and Victuals. Are you in the house tonight?
I haven't seen her yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen her. Hi, Wanda. I don't know if I said hi. Hi, Rudy.
Yeah, I haven't seen her yet.
Okay.
So
Save
okay.
that one in case she comes in a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another question. How many herbs are there? And they can be flowers, like medicinal, not medicinal, but herbs.
Oh my gosh.
Hundreds?
Thousands?
Anybody else? Okay, I'll give you the answer.
143 brook trouts, one said. Hi, brook trout. Anne said 1,200.
Too many to count.
Drop said
Wow.
too many to count. Yeah.
Whoever counted them,
100,000.
well, they should all be written down, and
Jennifer, 100,000. Yeah.
I'm sure there's some they've
Hi,
missed.
Callan.
Ready? 2,000 to 3,000.
Wow.
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 Some are medicinal and some are, not.
Yeah, I've been trying to acquire some each year, medicinal and ones that repel bugs, because I had a terrible bug year last year. So a lot of my herb acquiring is to repel bugs, but also medicinal. They're like, what are you going to do with that herb or that herb? I'm like, well, if it comes up, then I'll decide what I'm going to make out of it. But we're going to wait for it to come up first. I do have
some.
Yep, I got this growing.
I think the most common herb would be probably lavender.
Yeah.
It's not the most common in my yard because it won't grow.
That's funny.
Oh,
It's so pretty. I mean, it's just, I think it
pretty.
struggles. I think it
It's my
struggles
yard.
in the heat and the humidity, honestly.
Someone said who lives in Texas, kind of near me, that the Spanish whatever lavender would grow better for this climate. So
Yeah.
part of mine could be, and I'm not, I don't know.
Yeah.
it could be that. So I added that particular seed that person said onto my Amazon wish list, and it's some kind of Spanish something lavender. I forget the middle word, but it was Spanish something lavender. There's a blank there.
Yeah, there's.
But anyway, I put it on my Amazon wish list, so I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep trying, but lavender is on my list of things I have not accomplished yet.
Yeah, that could be why. So I would definitely look up lavender types and then see what growing zones they do better in.
Well, like I said, I've narrowed it down.
Good. And plant them all.
Yeah. I mean, just get some and just get all different kinds and plant them and see what works.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know?
I'll keep trying. I'm kind of pig-headed that way. I've grown loofah successfully. I've just not gotten it to be big yet. I've gotten little ones, right? So I'm just going to keep growing it. And what I did was this year, I planted it in different places just to see what kind of soil it likes.
I grew loofah about 4 years ago, and they took over, and I had hundreds of loofah, and so much work. I was like, I've never grown these things again.
Yeah. Well, also as a gardener, you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
To know that you can grow a specific thing.
Yeah.
So I have not accomplished that goal. Just like
I like all the things that come back.
My ground cherries come back on their own. My deal came back on its own. Yeah, I love that stuff that comes back on its own.
Yeah, I like stuff that comes back on its own too. But
so this week, what I've been working on is
I want to grow a money tree too, Jerry. That'd be so cool.
I have a money plant growing in my yard. I'm not telling you my address so you can come get the money out of my yard.
So this week I've been working on a secret flower garden area that I had done, and I've got like a wood raised bed that I built and a lot of bulbs. Well, the weed barrier fabric that I put in there didn't quite do the trick. So 10 years later, I'm redoing it and digging up bulbs, and I found. So in the area, it's an area where they had once had a modular home or something there. And so the rocks go, I don't even know how deep. You can't even dig in there, the rocks. So we tried for a while to make it into a garden and like put compost and soil, and it just disappeared. So I'm like, okay, let's put road fabric on it, pea gravel, and raised beds.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So in my little secret flower garden that I'm cleaning out, I found where they had a post at one time, and I'm like, okay, this is like a big rock or something. I'm digging around. This thing is huge. It was a post where they had a post, and I'm like, there's no way that I can lift it because it's huge.
Wow.
And so I'm probably just going to leave it there because it'll be covered anyways with what I'm doing.
Hi, two old people on a couch.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get it nice. I want to do lights and all kinds of different things in the area so we can have multiple places to sit whenever we might have some time to enjoy,
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I wanted to get new arches this year, so I bought some metal arches because I thought wooden arches wouldn't last as long as metal. So I'm going to have morning glories and moonflowers on one. So it'll be like purple, blue, pink, and white because the moonflowers are white.
Oh, wow.
And then on the other one, I'm going to have morning glories and loofah. So
Wow.
that should be pretty wild because there's a bunch coming up. So it's gonna look. I hope it looks really cool. I'm hoping for cool.
That is cool.
My money tree is never in bloom.
Mine isn't either.
I'm still digging for those jars and containers of hidden money that people used to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah, it'd be nice to find one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
I-
down in our woods, somebody has stacked a pile of rocks when you go down to the cabin. And there's this one area, and it looks like it's from years and years ago. And somebody stacked these old rocks on top of each other next to a tree. So I'm wondering if there isn't something buried there. Maybe a person, I don't know, may not want to dig it up, but I've always wanted to go dig that up, see if there was some money there or a hidden treasure or something.
I know.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous when I found that cement thing, so I got all the soil off the top of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the edges aren't square rectangles. I was like, I don't
Mine's
know.
like,
Oh, like a time capsule. You know,
Yeah.
be finding someone's time capsule from a ways back.
That
you know,
would
exactly.
be cool, actually, to do.
We found one of those in our old house.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was in
It's
it?
really cool. It was some girl had made it, and I think she was like 16, and it was from the 70s, and she had put in there some of the lip balm they had in the 70s. She had there was a picture, there was a tape recorder tape, a little tape recorder tape.
Maybe from the 80s.
Maybe I think it was from the 70s.
Okay.
Did it work? Did it play?
And I think the date was like 1979 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but we didn't ever try to play it because it was everything, it was just cool. And then I stuck it up, and I don't know what I did with it after that. So,
well, we had our house built, and before we had the sheetrock was done, all around every single window and doorway, I wrote like peace, health, love, and all these words. So if anybody ever does sheetrock again someday and they pull that down, they'll see writing.
Yeah.
So every window and door, everywhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you can find some interesting things. And when you're doing construction, you really can. Renovation. Okay, I have one for you.
Okay.
How many pounds of sugar do you think that Long John Silver's or any of these restaurants put in their sweet tea? And they have those 3 or 5 gallon containers of sweet tea that they mix up How much sugar do you think they put in there?
Well,
10 cups of sugar.
If it's a 3 gallon, I would say probably like 3 gallons of sugar.
They put 5 pounds. 5 pounds of sugar. I watched them make it. I was like, oh.
No wonder everybody's like,
I can't even drink sweet tea. Like if I go to church, I'll either get unsweet tea or I'll take the sweet and put a little, and I'll do this, and I'll make it like a concoction of the unsweet and the sweet to make it the right sweetness for me. Because
Sorry, tired.
is nasty when it's over sugared, in my opinion.
I'll use sweetener or some honey and lemon, but not all that sugar. That's terrible. That's a ton of sugar. Jan said 50 cups. It probably, oh my gosh, it's just like, I was blown away when I saw her dump that sugar in there.
Well, even if you take like those little Capri Suns, even our milk that we buy at the store,
I have
Even
I'm
look
sorry.
at the salt packets at the fast food restaurants. Some of them actually have sugar in the salt packet to enhance the flavor of the salt. Yep. Now, that's why that stuff is so unhealthy for everybody, you know?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, and or they'll add, yeah, look at the salt. It doesn't just say sodium. It says there'll be some places just use sodium, but there's other places like some of the big chain ones that have other ingredients in it, and some of them will have even sugar in it.
I don't ever really add salt when I go to a restaurant.
I don't either.
I've never, because they always put too much, so there's not really a point.
I don't like going out to eat anymore because it costs an arm and a leg, and I taste it and I'm like, it wasn't great. And also, like the amount that you get for the price that you paid, I want a
exactly.
platter. I'm like, I want a platter. Not that I can eat that much, but you know.
Exactly. If you're going out, you want to go out, right?
Yeah. I want it to be
a little tiny portion. I'm going out and spending that kind of money.
Yeah. So, did you know this one? Heather may know this one. Did you know honeybees can recognize human faces?
Wow.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Pets can understand like 100 human words, I heard.
So that one day I was filming a live and I got stung on my forehead because I was like all up in their business. That honeybee didn't recognize me. That's why.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, my face.
Maybe it did recognize you, Heather.
It's like, screw you. You ain't giving us that sugar.
You get it, Heather? It recognized you. That's why it bit you.
Anyway, so
yeah,
my face was horrible. It was like so swollen. It was bad. It didn't hurt at all.
I have a horrible one for you, okay? Did you know that chainsaws were first invented for childbirth?
What? No.
They were developed in Scotland in the late 18th century to help aid the speed up the process of symphysotomy, widening the pubic cartilage and the removal of a disease-laden bone during childbirth.
So they did
Terrified.
Sometimes they
I have
do.
No words. I have no words.
Sometimes they do have to cut, but to purposely.
No, that's messed up.
They used to do really messed up things back in the day.
That's just wrong on so many levels. Oh my gosh.
I'll be like, I'm not pregnant. I'm gonna go out in the bush. Nobody follow me.
Let me go sit out in the cornfield and squat, please.
No.
Don't make a noise. No.
Holy cow. Holy wow. Wow.
Yeah, is that horrible? That's horrible.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Okay, now
I did not know that, and I don't want to even know it now.
I know.
You win. You win.
At all costs. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to get that one out again.
Jerry says TMI. Stop it. Okay. Okay, moving on. Next
God. Let me say something to get that out of your head. Did you know it snows metal in Venus?
Oh wow.
How do they get metal?
I don't know.
Is that for real?
Well, at least it doesn't drop Uranus.
Cut you up with a chainsaw. Wow.
That
Oh, you guys.
I'm sorry. It popped in my head and it needed.
Needed to come out.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I have another one to get us off that subject.
I'm crying now. I need Kleenex.
Did you know that Australia is wider than the moon?
It's what?
You know what? I wrote that same one down.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
That's the one I was going to tell Ariola. I wrote that down. That was on my first. That's interesting, though.
That is interesting, isn't it? That's really fascinating.
I wondered if we were going to write down any of the same things.
Okay, next. Ready? How many rivers in the U.S. are there? Don't cheat.
Oh, wow.
Don't cheat.
How many rivers are in the U.S.?
You should all know that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't know.
It's good. My husband's trying to figure out the answer over here. He said 500. She said, "Rah."
All right, Tina. Too many to count.
Not Tina.
I say rivers. I say
Linda.
200.
That was funny.
Wow. Wow. You're lucky you missed the little "did you know" from Linda.
250,000.
Wow.
In the U.S.
Oh.
Gail, you made me cry.
Okay.
You both made me cry and laugh and so many.
Who has the most navigable waterways of all the states in the United States?
Mississippi.
Kentucky.
Oh, I should have
Oh.
guessed.
Kentucky is only Kentucky has more navigable miles of water than any other state in the lower 48. You know, because of course Alaska is
Yeah.
the top. It's second only to Alaska.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, koalas have a fingerprint.
Oh, I did not know that. No, I did not know that.
Either.
Do you know that Bonanza Hop Sing called those chops your fingerprints?
Oh, yeah.
There was an episode.
I remember that. I think I remember that.
Chop.
Chop.
Did you know octopuses have 3 hearts?
A black one, a red one, and a
Exactly, drops.
then it's a C. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My backyard's been pretty flooded, but still nothing compared to Kentucky over there.
We went into Elizabethtown today, and there's still lakes that aren't supposed to be there. But like, how come the water hasn't gone down? I mean, there's just water everywhere still that you can find driving in. So
are there some like fantastic kayakers out there?
I hope so. Hope so.
Jet skiing, you know.
It's in the backyard. Just rev up the boat and take a ride.
Oh yeah.
Here's a random. Did you know? I walked on a glacier before.
What?
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
And went on a flying fishing trip in Alaska.
Wow,
And
that is really cool.
Stuff.
Did you know pineapples take 2 years to grow?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And
I'd love
did you
to
know
grow
that they have
pineapple.
one baby and that's it? And then you take the baby and you plant the baby.
Wow.
That's why they have pineapples.
That's why they're expensive. It's a long process, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that.
Did you know crocodiles can't stick out their tongues?
No, I did not know that either.
I didn't even think about that, but I don't want to know.
You don't want to meet a crocodile?
No.
Oh.
Did you have any more,
Ooh,
Linda?
yeah.
Any more? Did you have any more? Did you knows?
I'll tell you, did you know?
Okay.
Did you know? What else? I just lost mine. Just a minute. I gotta look it back up. Hang on.
Okay, I'll go with I have one more while you get yours back.
Okay.
How many licensed drivers in 2023 were they in the U.S.? Licensed car drivers in the U.S. in 2023. That's when they did that last report.
I don't know.
I would say 180 million people.
Anybody else? 1 million.
I got nothing on that.
Yeah, right? I'm like,
Not even gonna
I
try.
want to know, but now you will know. Okay, you ready? 237.7 million.
Wow.
2023.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot that are driving that,
Linda, do you know how to do the YouTube giveaway tool?
I don't. And I need to talk to Jerry and ask him to show me how to do that. How do you do it? I mean, I have two screens, double screens, so I can do it.
You just hit your little X button up there, your little plus button, and you go to your Google and you search StreamYard giveaway tool.
Okay.
Now, let me confirm with Lori and Bob. Did you guys still want to give away a pack of seeds tonight? Because I wanted to try to make sure we did that if you were still wanting to. If not, I can be the one to give it away. But I just wanted to
not go into Jan's original live.
Yeah. Be sure that you're in the right live when you're in Jan's live tonight, because she was having some issues with it earlier. So make sure you're in the right place where everybody else is. If there's only like 5 people in there, you're in the wrong place. Go to where it has the live, and it'll be live right after this. Well, we're probably not really going to have enough time because we only have 2 more minutes, and then her live is going to start. So I waited too long.
You waited too long?
To ask you
We
to
have
talk.
stuff picked out. Hang on.
Just a minute.
Hang on.
Well, we could do it just numbers or something, but we need to do it fast because her live's about to start. I just thought of it and I didn't want to not do what they were to do. So
I'm still stuck on the planetary information.
no, I'm still stuck on the chainsaw.
I know, that's horrible, isn't it?
I'm stuck in the planet. Hey, y'all, learned something tonight, did you?
Yeah, make sure you guys go over to Jan's Simply Jan Homestead Live.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go over there.
Home.
You want to try to do it with just numbers, guys? Because that'll be quick.
Yeah, let's do just numbers.
Text us your numbers.
Let me type. Hold on. Okay, let me write down a number. Let me find a piece of paper.
Woohoo, good job, Brooke. I like those numbers.
Let me write down a number. Okay, I'm going to write start first. So wait.
Can one of the moderators please put her live
How many
link in the
How many people are in the
chat.
chat? How many people are in the chat right now, Linda? So I get the
There's
right number.
18.
18. Okay. So we're going to do 1 through 20. And you're going to put your number right after the word start. You're going to start with 1, but if we don't see the number, we'll have you do it again.
It just
so,
dropped to 13.
Set, go. And I wrote down a number.
Everybody put a number 1 through 20 in the chat.
Gail, did you text Linda the number?
No, I haven't texted anybody the number. I wrote it down on the piece of paper. So Bob and Lori are donating some seeds.
So I see
I think it's seeds.
8, 18, 13.
Yeah, I'm looking. I see the numbers. Why are you guessing, Lori? It's your own thing.
You don't have to infinity.
I just looked down. It's like, Lori, isn't this your prize?
Infinity doesn't count, drops.
Now,
Why not?
Bob said yes. Y'all were doing a prize. I just wanted to make sure.
Hurry, throw those numbers up.
Okay, everybody throw out another number since we didn't see it yet.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Type a number 1 to 20 in the chat.
It's 100 labels or floral tape.
Okay, so you'll have a choice of 2 items.
What?
It's
Oh, she got
all right, Lori. I'm just picking at you. Thank you so much for donating. We appreciate it very much. Okay, get some more numbers going. I don't see it yet. And I'm going to do closest without going over if I don't see it shortly. So everybody,
Hurry. Put
go
your
out.
numbers up. Number. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Throw those numbers out there.
And if I have a moderator, if you'll put up the link for Robert Homestead, and it all adds up for donating the prize.
Oh, wow.
Jerry.
There's going. Sorry about the early rapper.
Okay, so Jerry, if you will email me your address. I think I may have your address, but email me your address and I'll give you the choice. And anyway, I'll get it passed over. But go to Simply Jan Homestead. She's doing her live now. Make sure you're in the right live because she has 2 lives out there. Make sure you're in the right one.
Happy Friday. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Congratulations, Jerry and Susan, on winning the prize.
Yep. Congratulations.
Bye, Linda.
Bye.
Bye.